How's it going, my RWBY friends? Today is Monday, and you know what that means. Monday is the day we have Rooster Teeth airing the live stream for RWBY Rewind. I just finished watching the preview, and here's my fresh takes on the preview. I will explain in this video what happened in the preview to you and the latest theories regarding what this means for the future of the show. Now, keep in mind, these previews are only about 30 seconds long or so, sometimes less, sometimes a little bit more. The point is, there's not too much to go off. But this preview was pretty cool, and we can definitely theorize on some stuff, especially because how ambiguous it was with the guards going to get her. But you guys might not know what I mean, so let's take it from the top. If you saw RWBY Volume 6, Chapter 7, you would know how it ended. And if you haven't seen it, well, minor spoiler alert ahead. RWBY Volume 6, Chapter 7 ended with Junior explaining to RWBY that they could not get into the Atlas military base in Argus. We had a little scene after that where RWBY rolled up to the base, and in comedic fashion, the gates just closed on them. Now, in that scene, we only saw Team RWBY there, and that made me a little bit suspicious, a little bit curious. Did it actually happen? Did Team RWBY really go there? What would happen when they did get there? The fact that they would arrive and the doors would close on their faces and it wouldn't go well, basically. Junior said it didn't go well for them. Specifically, Jean said it didn't go well for Junior. And then this would show us that it wouldn't go well for RWBY either. So I was on the fence. I was like, did that really happen? Or is it just kind of showing us hypothetically that it's not going to go well for Team RWBY either? Or is it showing a future event and it did happen, or is it going to happen? It was a little bit of everything, it seems, because this preview showed us that Team RWBY indeed arrived at that military base in Argus, that Atlas base, and it wasn't going so well. The difference, though, the big difference, aside from having a much more fleshed out scene, is that Crow and Oscar were there at the base as well. So here's where it begins. The guards don't believe that Crow knows Ironwood, so we can reasonably assume that Crow went up there. He was probably like one of the first ones to talk to the guards. He's like, you know, we're trying to get to Atlas. I know it's closed down, but I'm a huntsman. Pulls out the card. It's like, I know Jimmy or John, you know, freaking, sorry. All the freaking Ironwood names are so funny. All right. Because he calls him Jimmy, but some people call him Johnny. Like, I don't even know, guys. Freaking James. You know, it's like his name's James. Why do people call him Jimmy and Johnny? I don't even know, but it's funny to me. Okay, so James Ironwood, right? So Crow's like, look, I'm a friend of Ironwood, and these two ridiculously over the top guards are like, General Ironwood, all freaking like admiring him and everything, like all proper. You know who else is proper? Winter. Maybe she did a good job grooming these guards. We'll get to that in a second, though. So Crow's not having any luck getting in with his by pulling the Ironwood card. It's not working out so well. So he moves on to the next best thing. Turns and looks at Weiss. He's like, you know, we also have Weiss Schnee here. We're trying to get her back home safely. The guards like look at each other and think. Then they look at Weiss and they're like, approach. Weiss walks up to the gate and they give a weird look at her. They really analyze her. And they're like, all right, we will go and get our commanding officer. And they say her. They say like she or her. So they make it very much evident that this is going to be a female character. And here's where we can start theorizing on what's to come next chapter, guys. I already mentioned Winter. You know how Winter is very much like, you must be proper and respectful, and you must teach people respect if they don't respect you and Atlas and all this stuff, right? Like, it's pretty funny. So, I mean, these two guards, maybe they're going to get Winter. Like I said, it already seems like Winter kind of groomed these guys into being so proper, but that's also just like the Atlas way. I mean, keep in mind, Winter was groomed that way because of Atlas. It's not like Winter was this proper person who started making Atlas have this like regiment and proper attitude and all that. Like, they groomed Winter to be like that. So it makes sense, even if it's not Winter, that they would have this kind of attitude. It's just the way like Atlas people are. They're very, very snobby. You got like nobles who are very snobby and they look down on the other kingdoms. And then you have like the guards, which are all like, yes, boom, boom. And freaking half of them are robots, which are like, boom, boom, very rigid, you know? It's like half of them are robots, half of them are humans. And the humans are even acting like robots because they're so freaking brainwashed and all that. Not like super brainwashed in a bad way, but just like very stoic and all that sort of stuff. Now, if it's not Winter, if the commanding officer is not Winter, who could it be? Some people are theorizing it could be Neon Cat. You all remember her from Volume 3, the girl with the neon song. You know, the song I used, the remix version, in a lot of the endings of my videos. I love that song. I also love Neon. She's hilarious. It's a character that kind of like Weiss, you hated at first because she was so snobby. Same thing with Flint. But then, like, once they were beaten, they were very humble. And that's why people, specifically myself, you know, I can't speak for everybody, but that's why I went from hating Neon and Flint to loving them by the end of that episode. Never miss a beat. That's the one. Volume 3. Never miss a beat. That's funny. It's called Never Miss a Beat, and it just came to me like Never Missing a Beat, the name of the episode. So that's a good one. Anyways, could it be Neon? I highly doubt that. Why? Because, well, Neon didn't even fully graduate in Volume 3. It's been quite a while since Volume 3, though, in terms of the time that has passed in the show. At this point, Neon could have graduated from Atlas, but you don't really, like, there's not that much time that would have passed after she graduated. So I don't think someone goes from, like, joins the military to become a commanding officer in a matter of months. That seems highly unlikely, even though she would be a trained huntsman, assuming she finished, which I don't see why she wouldn't have. But the point is, like, I just don't see Neon being a commanding officer that quickly, and I also don't see Neon even wanting to become a commanding officer. She is definitely, like, the complete opposite of that rigid Atlas demeanor that the military has, right? She's way opposite of that. She's riding around. Dude, her weapon is glow sticks. You know what glow sticks are used for in real life? Them people that go to, like, the warehouses with the music and they dance and they freaking stay up all night long on taking all sort of, you know, bad things for you. I don't even want to say the word, guys, because I'm going to get demonetized if I do. You know what I mean. Those are the people who use glow sticks. This is the kind of person Neon is. Crazy Neko cat girl, man. You think she's going to be a Atlas commanding officer? I doubt it. I mean, they might throw a huge spin on us because the most probable thing is that it's Winter Schnee. That also opens up a lot of room to have, you know, snowbird scenes. You don't know what snowbird is? Well, if you don't, it's Crow and Winter. A very popular ship. Not one of the most popular ships, but still a very popular ship. And shipping things aside, it's just cool to see Winter and Crow together. They're hilarious. Their interactions are really funny. And we haven't had that many of them, so more of them would be nice. On top of the fact that she has that same demeanor, on top of the fact that it would make, you know, some snowbird scenes and Crow and Winter scenes which the fandom likes, and it would give us some Weiss and Winter Schnee scenes as well. And it would just fit with her going back to Atlas, with getting Weiss back to Atlas and all that. So it would probably all work out if it is Winter. The only problem is the CCTs are still down, so only local comms work, which means it would be kind of complicated for Atlas to get a hold of Argus. The military base at Argus, I'm assuming, can't actually communicate with the main Atlas homeland. The way they're communicating is probably having to physically send, like, notes or scrolls. Remember in Volume 5 when there was that scroll that had, like, a recording from Adam on it? I'm assuming that's kind of the way that Atlas is still communicating, via, like, physically delivering scrolls with pre-recorded messages, unless Atlas is hiding some technology, which is totally possible because they are the most technologically advanced kingdom in all of Remnant. Perhaps they do have a way of communicating at a longer distance than local comms that they haven't really shared with the rest of the kingdoms, and maybe that's how they're communicating across the sea. There's a few different ways that could all play out, but let's keep in mind that Terracotta, Saffron's wife, was trying to repair the satellite at Atlas or something like that. Even if it's repaired, the CCTs are still down, so I don't know how much that would really help, unless that was in part due to the advanced tech that Atlas has, like I mentioned, which might help them communicate at longer distances than other kingdoms can, even with the CCTs being down. That seems pretty possible. Like, why would they even mention Terracotta having to repair the satellite if there was no importance to it? You know, writers do this kind of stuff. They throw, like, a little bit of a hint here so that it ties together later. And it's probably how it's going to go down. Anyways, the other option for this commanding officer is it's an entirely new character. What fits that idea is the fact that the two guards very much seem like the two card guards from The Wizard of Oz. The ones that kind of, like, introduced the Queen of Hearts to Alice. They act very much the same way as those guard cards. That would make the commanding officer have to be the Queen of Hearts, most likely, to complete those references. And I don't really see Winter as being a Queen of Hearts type of character. I mean, maybe a little bit, but the Queen of Hearts was a little bit, like, more evil, and Winter is not really evil. I mean, I don't want to say the Queen of Hearts was, like, fully evil, because honestly, I don't remember. I haven't seen The Wizard of Oz in a long time. I remember she was, like, shady, but I don't remember if she was full-on evil. Maybe she was. I honestly don't remember. She might have been full-on evil. I just don't remember. The point is, I don't think Winter would fit that reference. Maybe. If we have any Wizard of the Oz pros, leave a comment down below. Do you think Winter would fit the Queen of Hearts reference? And if not, what kind of character would? Like, what kind of new character would fit that reference really well? Because my knowledge of the Wizard of Oz is very loose at best. I have seen it but it's been a long time and I read up on it, but I don't really like reading. I'm very slow at it, so I don't really go too much into depth with reading the lore, especially because it's so long in some ways. But that's another possibility. Guards could be referencing the 2 guard cards, and they could be getting the Queen of Hearts. Next possibility, the guards are actually Tweedledum and Tweedledee, not Dee and Dudley from Volume 7 or Volume 6, Chapter 1. I don't think that one's too likely because I do think that Dee and Dudley were the Tweedledee and Tweedledum reference. Even the music when those characters are on screen is all like, like it's all like freaking a joke. Like they're a joke. They're just kind of morons. They left the door open. They were luring the Grimm away. Dude got freaking arm almost hit off. Just many reasons why they are probably Tweedledee and Tweedledum. So I don't think that one is too likely. But to kind of wrap the video up, guys, that is the bulk of the preview. That's the bulk of the main theories. Figuring out who this CO is, who this commanding officer is. Ending it up, RWBY mentions that the guards were super weird. And Maria says, And I really want to know what else Maria's going to say, because who's not in love with Maria right now? Our wonderful Grim Reaper. She's awesome, and who doesn't want more scenes of her? So that's where it ends, guys. Leave me your thoughts down below in the comments. On a side note, my reaction to Volume 6, Chapter 7 is on Patreon now. $1 tier and above. Get access to that up to a week early. Consider sponsoring the channel to support the channel and to also get some cool perks as well. Link in the description. And a big shout out to my co-producers on Patreon, Lulu Bell and Redacted, and of course all patrons as well. Thank you for your support on the channel, guys. And if you're not a patron and you can't become one, you can still help the channel out. Hit that like button, subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you can be aware of when new content comes out. Consider joining the Discord server, link down below as well. Chat with us in real time. The HeroHei community would love to have you. And with that said, I will catch you next time.